Welcome to Utila from the sky. We're actually going to go down the main street of Utila, and you can see right there, this is actually Carnival Week of July. Every year it's Carnival, and you can kind of see the parade marching through the streets, so that is not a normal event. It's always a lot of fun if you want to visit Utila at the end of July. All of the Bay Islands have wonderful festivals throughout the year. Utila does theirs at the end of July. So, absolutely beautiful island. We're actually going to go down to take the main street so you can see what it looks like from the ground, which we are coming to you from the main, it is Main Street, but from the main bay on the south side of the island, which is where most people will enter the island from, which is where the ferry docks, with the exception of the airport, which we will show in the second video. So I'm going to break this into two just because there is so much ground that we are covering. So I did start at the most western point that I could, that was good to ride on a bike and not completely residential, but this entire walk is about 45 minutes. If you were not on a scooter, it took about 25 minutes on a scooter, so it is a very long, beautiful walk. You can see the white sand beaches that are all over the place, and we're going to go to a nice public beach in just a moment. What I love showing, if you are visiting Utila, visiting the Bay Islands, every island in the Bay Islands is quite unique, even though we are such close proximity to each other. A lot of that is just each island has its own beautiful, distinct culture. And then they also have just, distinct areas that make the island very, very unique. What's really great is this main road, right on the beach, right on the white sand. So you get some really great snorkeling, swimming, and we are in a bay, so it is more of a protected area. There is a lot of boat traffic, so do be careful if you're going out swimming and not like the public beach. So what you can also see is, to get around in Utila, there are no cars in Utila, so you can't, you're not going to make it very far with a car anyway. So most people have a scooter. Bicycles are not as popular as they used to be because now everybody's on a scooter, a four-wheeler, a tuk-tuk, a golf cart, I don't even know what some of these sports utility vehicles are, but they are much smaller than cars, because you can see on this main road, it's just not going to fit a car. So this is the public beach that was built around 5 years ago or so, which is really, it's really quite beautiful. Lots of white sand, lots of shade, lots of safe areas to swim, especially if you're coming with kids. It's something good to do. There's a lot of vendors all around, some people walking on the beach, but a completely different vibe than Roatan and West Bay, and no cruise ships in Utila, so just a completely different vibe, and you just get just really authentic Utila, which is wonderful. And I was talking about, this is Carnival, so you're going to see a little bit more traffic than normal. You get to see the flags, all of this, and this is around 4 o'clock, so there is a little bit of some traffic. That's Skid Row. That's a famous bar in Utila. I'll try to point out some things, which I know that we're going very fast. We have a lot of ground to cover, but you can do a bar hop along this entire main row. The Skid Row is a big one, but there are bars literally all up and down this road. First level tends to be some type of bar, restaurant, pulperia, something of that nature. And then the second story is sometimes a business or a residence, lots of churches, also the government buildings, but you have a lot of residences that are kind of mixed in with the community, which is nice. There are 2 public parks that I was able to drive by, which is always great for the kids. So there's 27 dive shops in beautiful Utila, most of which are in this location right here. So we're going to pass, many of them. The food, I love the food in Utila. You do have a wide range. You do have your local street vendors, where you're paying 20 limps or so, about $1 for something like corn, baleada, pastelito, something of that nature. And then you do have your higher end restaurants, but I wanted to slow down for a moment and show you the ferry terminal, because this is most likely where you're going to be coming when you visit Roatan, Honduras. So just so you do see this, it is, very, very easy. Everything's convenient in Utila. To get to places is convenient because it's not very far, even though we are in a little bit of a traffic jam right here, but that's just because the ferry just let out. but you can tell you can get all your basic necessities. Now, if you want something specific, it's an island. It's probably not going to happen, but you do have your vegetables, your food, just lots of trash cans, which is amazing. It's one of those things that, man, we don't see all the time in different areas, but you can tell there's lots and lots of food, well, that's a cinema over there that plays movies. It's really nice to walk and take your time. I know that we're not doing this because this is already like a cut down 14-minute video. We just passed a bakery, a pizzeria, and the houses are just so beautiful. I just love the classic Caribbean feel with the wood, with the a lot of molding. All the paint looks wonderful, very well kept, maintained. Trees are well maintained. It just really looks like a pristine Caribbean island. We just passed UDC, Utila Diving Center, which is one of the bigger dive resorts on the island. I personally did some diving there, got my instructor in Utila. We just passed RJ's, one of my favorite restaurants, which is really great for local fresh cut fresh fish. And it's really just simple, good homemade food. We just passed the Odyssey, which is one of the dive resorts I like